Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go over global energy for the month of October 2025. Global energy worldwide will pertain political, economic, and some weather events. This is going to be something I may start doing once per month, the global energy. That's what the videos are going to be titled because of my scheduling and things like that. And I can get everything I need to say in one video. This is based off of mundane and channeling as well. October 2025, Volume 1. Let's get into it. So we have the aftermath of the solar eclipse that we just had on the 7th and the 21st. So it's just lingering energies, and sometimes those lingering energies can filter into the following month, which is going to be October, and it's going to bring some volatile moments. We have Uranus, also very prominent in October, brings in unrest, protest, sudden disruptions, and leaders worldwide are going to fall under the pressure and have to react over something. I want to mention that President Trump and the leader of the UK or England, I want to say Starmer, yes, Starmer, these two leaders especially will fall underneath this category. But before I go into this any further, let me mention one thing about President Trump for September. Starting now until the end of September, he is going to be possibly, I'm not saying allegedly, possibly, under the spotlight for something that he has said, and he's going to try to retract the words that he said, most likely pertaining to a UN meeting where he spoke out and said something pretty rhetoric, and he may try to revoke those words or go back on those words. Let's just say the word paper was involved. Okay, I was getting something with that. All right, so let's go into the United States. Again, this is for the month of October, but it falls strongly between the 20th and 31st of October. I'm getting political gridlock. Political gridlock. Legal standoffs, economic debates, protest, and a lot of public rallies, people forcing leaders' hands. Do you understand? People forcing leaders' hands. That's what I'm seeing there. Again, Trump falls heavy under this. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Russia. Strongly, I was getting the 22nd through the 24th, but again, anytime in October, I see military and diplomatic flexing. Energy markets used as leverage, border tensions with the country U and the Baltic states. China, strong economic trade moves. This is going in China's favor, actually, for October. I don't see nothing really bad going on there. Possible currency, market manipulation, ripple effects. So it seems like whatever Trump is doing, what he's been doing with these tariffs, whatnot, let me just say that the G7, like India, China, Russia, and other countries, they're all forming as one, okay? This is just making them stronger, what Trump is doing with these tariffs. China is learning to make trades with other world leaders, not in the United States, okay? And they're doing well. And this may be something that's being done behind the scenes, but it is bringing a ripple effect. Europe, protest, strikes, likely. France and Germany, budget and policy clashes, excuse me. Now, the UK umbrella falls under leadership instability. Again, I'm mentioning Starmer and President Trump, but primarily Starmer, as far as his reputation, it brings in instability, and people are starting to recognize it over in the UK, okay? Again, October 20th through the 31st, but anytime in October feels prominent for those things to happen. India, great things coming for India, even though they're having to deal with the tariff issues, but that's okay. India, tech and space growth. Sudden infrastructure. Now, this part wasn't good. I did see some sudden infrastructure, weather issues. It feels to be flooding. Also, natural events, earthquake. And I spoke on that prior, but the earthquake felt to be in the Himalayas or the Himalayas, and the aftershocks would run into New Delhi at some point. Could be September, could be October. I don't know. Could even be November at this point, but that's something I'm strongly getting, and I need to mention it. And the astrology is pointing through the line as well. Middle East. Mars raises conflict and risk. So I see possible flare-ups there inside of Israel, actually, and their bordering neighbors. Lebanon comes to mind. Lebanon strongly is coming to me as well. And it feels like some of the leaders are pushed into defense positions. So if Benjamin Netanyahu feels a desire to go in and bomb Qatar again, or other areas of the Middle East where he feels Hamas is located, it's going to bring a lot of defensive. It's not going to be good. So I see that happening. Actually, I do. Okay, South America, leadership protest. Strongly, I'm getting a shakeup in South America. And this is tied to the economy. But we're going to see a lot of leadership chess pieces moving around there. The country Africa, I see resource tensions, mining and energy disputes, okay? And I feel like this is going to be related to the West, possibly France wanting something from Africa. And Africa's like, no, you've taken enough from us already. Get the fuck on somewhere. Pardon my French. I'm sorry. That wasn't nice. Yeah, I see Africa standing their ground. And they have backup. They do have backup. I see countries like Russia, India, China standing up for them as well. So I don't know. It's something, it feels like something, possibly France is wanting some type of mineral and he's not able to get it. Let's go ahead and move on to the weather patterns for October. I want to say October onward. Let's just keep it brief. United States of America, October 1st through the 10th. Heavy rains. I was getting heavy rains. The astrology points to storms along the East Coast and the Gulf. And it's like remnants from a tropical storm or possibly a hurricane is how it was coming through. I'm hoping not. I am hoping not. So far, we've been very lucky. Then we have October the 11th through the 20th. This was significant. This was very strong to me. And this is something I actually saw. I was getting through the third eye. Tornado. Severe storm risk in Midwest plains as well. But the tornado, let me explain something, how I was shown this tornado. You know, it's like 3 tornadoes wrapping into one. Imagine braiding your hair, like if you've seen someone braid hair before and all 3 pieces of hair are overlapping into one to lock it. That's what this tornado looked like to me. I don't know how else to explain it, but I'm going to tell you the areas that because I looked at a map and I'm going to tell you Oklahoma, strong, Kansas and Missouri are my 3 number 1 hits. And I'm also getting parts of the states that border these 3 I mentioned, like Nebraska, Arkansas, could also be pulled or drawn into the storm. So it was pretty significant. It could be October or even later, but you know, the month of October was prominent for that. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, it will be something significant in those regions. All right. The United States, I'm getting from the 21st to the 31st, but really anytime. This could be onward, but the astrology points this out to a sudden cold snap, okay? A sudden cold snap in the northern parts of the states. East Coast, say New York, even other areas like Virginia, Pennsylvania, but primarily I'm going just to say New York up. It's just going to be cold as hell. And like right around Halloween, when you're taking your kids out trick-or-treating, it's going to be cold. You're going to have to bundle up big time. And I'm also being shown that we're going to have early winters here in the United States. It's going to be cold in places like Florida more than normal. It's not going to be as bad as up north, but it's going to be a little more chilly here in Florida and places in Georgia as well. Winter is going to come a little early up north. It's going to be cold as shit. Pardon my French. There it is. Okay, North Europe. All right, strong storms. And I see a lot of wind coming from North Europe. A lot of cold, like when the wind touches your face, it just turns red, like frostbite type of wind. Central Europe, heavy rains, localized flooding is possible, which is normal. That usually comes in for Central Europe for me. Then we have Southern Europe, unseasonably warm and then sharp cool. Strange. It's like it gets warm the first half of October And then by the end of October, 1st of November, it gets cold as shit. You're like, what? What just happened? Like overnight. All right, so now let's move on into Russia. Western part of Russia. Early cold, flurries, late October. When we get into the eastern portion of Russia, like Siberia, for example, harsh, cold front, and it's just going to get stronger. So, yeah, it's going to be cold there. They're used to it over there, but still, it's going to be cold as shit. Also, I'm seeing an earthquake near the Caucasus into the far east. Okay, so this could be part of Siberia, but also the Caucasus come in as well. All right. Ukraine, since you're in that area as well, you're also going to be feeling a colder winter than normal for Ukraine. We don't want to forget Ukraine because even though these two countries are at odds, they're, to me, brothers. We love them both. China, Asia, typhoon risk continues, especially East Asia and in the South China Sea. Man, I kept seeing that. Like Taiwan, the Philippines. Yeah, those areas. Typhoon weather. Typhoon. And then, of course, in North China, there's the cold snap. So it's going to be colder than normal in North China. Even though they're used to it, it's going to be colder than just strange, abnormal. Middle East and Africa. The Middle East, I see abrupt temperatures drop around October 20th. And sadly, I'm seeing Gaza, places like Gaza affected by this. So everything is normal. But then when you get close to the end of like the second week, well, no, I'm not going to put a timeline, but let me just say the astrology is pointing to October 20th, around that time frame. It's going to get super cold. It's going to be so cold. They're just going to drop out of the blue, and people are not going to be prepared for that, and that could cause more lives, is what I'm seeing. Okay. North Africa, desert storms, heat spikes. And then we get into places like Kenya. I see flooding potential, and so that's more going east. Ethiopia, places like Kenya, Ethiopia could deal with flooding potential. That's going east, okay? South America. And I'm referring primarily, I'm looking at Brazil and Argentina. So heavy rains there. A lot of heavy rains are possible in those regions in October. And then they were showing me the Andes as I was looking at the map. Andes region, earthquake. I know, man, I hope I'm wrong with that one, but they look like a significant earthquake. And the dates for that were between October 21st through October 25th. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I'm just mentioning it because it did show up, okay? In the reading, it showed up. So October looks like extreme events around the world, but also sudden weather events come out, right? Now, I want to share a channeled message that I was getting for everyone, for the collective, for October 2025. October is a month of change, but with change comes growth. Even when the world feels uncertainty, remember, you carry the strength to adapt, the wisdom to choose peace, and the light to inspire others. Trust the shifts because they are guiding you closer to your true path. That felt so significant, and I had to share it because it really just was laying on my heart. So, well, that's all I have for the month of October. Let me know under the comment section how you liked this video. And if you liked the wording on the screen so you can keep up, that's why I did it this way. So if you're new, please hit the like button, share, subscribe. If you don't have time to watch all of the video, that's understandable. Let it play all the way through so I can get view time. That would help. It really would help me so much with YouTube. All right, guys, thanks for listening.